Good team.
All right, we'll let Steve go.
What do you think this team learned from those two games that maybe it didn't know before it made the trip?
Well, again, what I like to think is taking care of the basketball more than anything. I mean, we reached a lot of our goals in the first game defensively, but we lost the game because we turned it over and allowed 24 points. And I like for them to know, and we'll point it out again to them today, that when we do execute the things that we practice, we do pretty well. And it gets back to, again, I thought that we showed a lot of determination, even in the Florida State game. We were down because it felt like we were fighting uphill the whole way, which we were, but they stayed with it. And I think they'll learn that there's a lot of different ways that you can win basketball games, and there's a lot of ways you can lose it. I don't think, and I told them this after the game, I don't know if you can win a game in the first 4 minutes, but you can certainly lose one. And because of the way we had to fight back, but we did show some toughness. And then against a really good VCU team. Second half we weren't nearly as good defensively, but some of that they had to do with what they were running. Doing some guard to guard action with a dribble out, which is hard to guard, and getting downhill, getting the angle on us. But we stayed with it, and but we've got to get better, and I think they do understand that.
Fulkerson had two really different games, really seemed to struggle against Florida State, had good numbers against VCU. What changed there? How was he able to kind of avoid the foul trouble playing against FSU?
All I can tell you is after the first game, I told both he and Jordan Bowden they had to do more. And I said, you guys know that we're counting on you to play at a level every single night, and that means, when you get ready to scout us, there's 4 guys you don't pay close attention to, and that's the 4 older guys right now. And it's pretty obvious. I mean, it's not hard to figure that out, but we've got to have John Fulkerson and wanting to go score the basketball. There's no reason he can't score 12, 14 points a night. He's got to go want to do it, and you see he shoots a very high percentage, but he's got to want the ball. He's got to want it and work for it and demand it by the way that he posts up, where he posts up, where his space is. And Jordan Bowden's going to have to learn that it's not going to be easy, and he's going to have to bring more to it than just think he's going to stand and get open or one screen, one cut. He's going to have to get better at learning pace on how to get himself separated so we can screen for him, those type of situations. But John Fulkerson needs to know, and the fact that I told you guys even a year ago, we expected him to want to take on more of that role. But now there's no doubt he's got to do that.
You got a good game from Devontae Friday, then a good game from Jalen Saturday. Would you prefer for one of those guys to cement themselves as your main backup guard, or are you okay with it kind of being a game-by-game thing with those two?
I think we need them both. I do. I still think we've got to get minutes cut down with both Lamonte and Jordan, and even Josiah some. I mean, we'd like to keep those minutes around 28 to 30. We could, but that will depend on those guys, to be quite honest with you. If they can go in and show us and compete. And what they did was exactly what we needed them to do. I don't think they tried to force the issue offensively. They both came up with some really, one offensive rebound in the game scored a big play. And that was a big one that Jalen got for us. But those guys, again, they're different. They're two different players in the way they play, but yet they both can be effective, and we would like to see them both. And Drew too. I think Drew is as he continues to understand how hard you got to play at this level, understand that he's going to have to be able to guard the basketball, or people are just going to attack him every time he comes on the floor. But we need all 3 of those guys. We really do, to be the team that we want to be, and to get back to being the kind of full court defensive team we want to be. We have to have depth, and without that depth, we can't go 40 minutes like we'd like to on the defensive end.
Rick, how important is it for your guards to rebound at a high level?
It is. I've always thought the best running teams are when you get guards down there that rebound the ball and go with it. And Josiah's done a terrific job of that. And he's rebounded it really, really well. But they're all capable of it. I mean, you expect Devontae, Jalen. I mean, Devontae might go with it, Jalen might not, which is okay. But even when Lamonte and Jordan Bowden rebound, it allows us to get out quick and go with it. And with our front line, it's not like we have an overbearing, long front line right now, so we need everybody to gain rebound and get the ball. And when we're playing our best basketball, when we're playing our best defense, that's when we do have 5 guys pursuing, blocking out and pursuing the ball.
Coach, what does it say about your faith in Lamonte and Lamonte's, ability to be so clutch that you call that play for him at the time? I think he was 4-12 in the game at the end.
Well, it was a read play, and again, that play could have gone either way. When we left the huddle, I looked at Josiah. I said, "You got 2 options. You're going to look at either Folke at the rim, or Lamonte will come off, and depending on how they play, Lamonte will tell you what to do." So believe me, just look the other way when you get started. But when you hand you the ball, start looking that way, and Lamonte read it. I think that, and it's a tough situation for a defensive team in that situation, because you don't know if they're going to go for 2, 3. You'd like to think that, hey, they're not going to shoot a 3, that they're going to go at the rim, try to get fouled, something like that. Which that's what, if they would have switched out, we would have thrown the ball to the rim. And they switched. They didn't switch, but then at the very end, they both realized Lamonte was. I don't think they were going to switch. They weren't. You can tell by watching it. But when Lamonte broke loose, both guys flew at him. And if Josiah had to worry with all the pump faking, Folke could have dunked the ball. But that happens just so fast. But Lamonte had the option either a tight curl or to get to the 3. And as soon as the big fella jumped out, he had to go to the corner. And I told him it was going to be 1 pass and a shot. But it's a tough play for the defense, because again, you're thinking they're going to go to the basket with it. They're going to either try to get fouled or drive it some way. But Lamonte made the call to get to the corner. That was his read.
You mentioned the other night after the Florida State game having all 3 freshmen in at the same time. How did you think they handled not only the way that game was going in the tight game, but also the environment they had?
Mike, I think what was good about that is I thought they handled it. I didn't think any one of them got rattled by the atmosphere. The pressure early, which surprised me, to be honest with you, that we didn't handle it in the first part of the game. Pressure really hasn't hurt us a lot. But it's just some ways we were throwing the ball away. But I thought the freshmen being out there and really at some critical times when you're trying to come back, they showed poise, and they showed the fact that we can count on them. And it's really simple right now, is that we've got to not only get better as individuals, but our team, there's things that we know we can do defensively, offensively to get better. And some of it is just the belief that you just do what you practice. And people aren't going to let you get to your first option. That's what I think this group might have learned more than anything, is it's going to take more than one option to get it to score the basketball. And it looked like we were just trying to make one pass, get a shot, one pass, and just locked into one side of the floor. And as time went on, we did get better moving it from side to side.
Rick, you mentioned the turnovers against Florida State. Where did those stand for you in terms of sort of an uncharacteristic blip on the radar screen versus like a visible symptom of kind of what you've seen, in practice when they haven't cost them the game? Where did that sort of stand to those turnover issues?
Well, what's surprising about the turnovers in the Florida State game was who was turning it over. Now, Lamonte's turned it over a lot, where he's tried to do too much, and then we keep telling him, hey, he's going to have to trust his teammates. He's going to have to let them have it. Even at I think a play at the end of the first half against, I want to think VCU, he should have thrown the ball. You're not going to drive in there and underhand layups with the clock going down with the guys bigger than you. So he's going to have to learn to make those plays, and that's what he's got to get better with. Because I know he's leading us in turnovers, and he shouldn't. He's too good a player to have 6. I don't even know how many turnovers he's averaging a game. There's way too many. And the way he started the game, it really got everybody else back on their heels. We're like, everybody's looking around like, what's going on here? Because he's a guy that you count on to take care of the ball. And he owned up to it. He's told the guys at that time, he said, it's my fault. He told him after the game it was his fault. But that we need him to be solid with the ball. We need Jordan Bowden. Some of his turnovers are unforced turnovers. Just, people are going to attack you and taking care of it. And what we will learn when we get together today and scrub this out is how turnovers did cost us a game. And regardless of the defense we played against Florida State, when you meet the goals that we meet defensively that we want, you don't lose many. You shouldn't lose. But when you're that bad on offense, you can't overcome it sometimes. And I think that's one thing that they'll learn today, if they don't already know, but we've talked about it enough, that you've got to take care of the ball.
Jimmy and Grant?
You're talking about focus, and you think you go 12 to 14 points a game. Who else inside do you think you might be able to?
Olivier is so much better than he's playing right now, but it goes back. He's got to buy into what we need him to do. He's as talented as any player that we have on our team. I mean, he can score, and we think he can score against anybody. He's got to slow down. His instinct, as soon as he gets the ball, he wants to dribble it. He's never had to play in tight space. And that's what he's learning right now, that you don't get the ball and take 1-2 dribbles all the way across the lane without somebody come slapping it away and not having your feet ready to go up and explode. I mean, he's young, but all this stuff's going to help him. And I expect to see him make a big jump, because I know that he's disappointed that he didn't play better in Florida, but he did some good things. He did. He's learned to play hard on offense. All young guys measure their worth in points, all of them. And he's going to have to realize there's so much more he can do than that. I think that's one thing where Josiah's been very patient. You know, he's turned down some shots which he can't do, because all his shots he turns down normally results in turnovers. But when he takes a shot, we all think it's going to go in, because we work hard to shoot the ball. And I think on Olivier's side, when he does what we practice, he'll be fine. He hasn't done that yet. And that's where he's gotten himself in trouble.
What went into the decision not to play Drew against VCU? Kind of where do you
Just-
like his problem?
Just the fact that they were driving the ball really hard. You know, we knew that they were going to drive at that point in time. Because they came out shooting three well. We tightened up there, and they did what you would expect. You get behind, they're coming at you, trying to get fouled, trying to lengthen the game that way, and so that was the sole reason why he didn't play.
Steve, you got one?
Sure. What was that? Sir, balance? This will be your last game for about, I guess, 10 days or so until Memphis. Just what are you interested in just kind of seeing from your team before you head into this long break? Just what improvement do you want to see?
You know what? Again, we need to add some things. Well, we got to get ready for Wednesday night, and I think they're playing tonight. I think at Kansas State, and you don't ever take anyone for granted, but it still goes back this time of year. Coaches are more concerned about their teams and playing good basketball. But we've got to clean up some things. We've got to add some things that we haven't had a chance to add, and we'll do that over this next period, and really somewhat get everybody healthy. To be quite honest with you, we got some little bang-ups, things that we need to get cleared up, and so we'll have a chance to do that through the exam.
So this is the exam schedule coming out during this week.
Yeah.
Coaches, how crucial is Eves being able to go inside and do what he's done to your all success? And did you think he would be this good at it?
Yeah, you know what, Rob? Yeah. He can do more of it, and he can do it in a different way. I mean, going inside, you can put a guy with his back to the basket, score that way, or you can get him in some ball screens and get him rolled to the rim, get the rim that way, and sometimes give it to him, let him turn and face, and Eve can do a little bit of all of it. But I think we're all still, and he included, look for exactly the play that when he wants, what's he going to go to, and because he's going to be playing against bigger guys, and again, playing inside, like, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get it and back your way down and score, but I'd still like to see these guys work hard to get their spacing early and not settle to be pushed off the lane, because Eve is certainly strong enough to get the ball wherever he wants to get it.
Ricky mentioned that when Josiah turns down a shot, it usually results in a turnover. Do you want him to be more offensive minded, to try to be more of a scorer?
When he's off the ball, there's no doubt about it. When he's on the ball, like any of our point guards, he's still learning what we want from a point position, in terms of how to initiate the break and all that. But when he's off the ball, we expect all of our guys, because, we're not, again, at the end, and we do play through Lamonte at times, but I can go back and show you when we play our best, and when we're playing the way we practice, we're all five guys are engaged, and they take their shots when they're there. And he's got to do that. And but he's gotten better. He's gotten better each game. I think he's starting to see it more. He just still has to continue to learn the game and understand it and understand what we're looking for.
Every time we're talking more, we got it. All right.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you very much.